Douglas community a two-part solution. And folks, this is a modernized port for cars, for pedestrians, and then a new port for commercial cargo.
Hey everybody, welcome to House Connell. My name is Regina Connell. You guys, I'm trying to pull up the senator speaking right now, and Kamala is due to be speaking. You guys, let me try to pull it back up. Let me know if how the sound is, but it sounds really bad on my end, so it might be my microphone, but let me try again. Sorry about this, guys. Give me a moment. Mm-hmm. Oh, please. They're blaming Trump again for their border crisis, just so you know. I'm about to share it now.
Republican senators that they had to vote no.
No, that's not true.
This was the most hypocritical thing.
All right, guys, here we go. Can you hear it okay?
In Washington. He said that he couldn't let this because he needed it for the election. And that's because he cares more than he does about communities like yours. He cares more about that than he does about Douglas, than he does about
This is comical, you guys.
And that he does about Yuma. He and Naco. I apologize for leaving out Naco.
Oh, please.
Everybody loves Naco. And we know why. Donald Trump likes to talk about problems. He doesn't want to solve the problems.
Why don't you talk about the problems and not talk about Donald Trump? Can you do that?
For the state of Arizona, it does not. Our state needs action. And that's why we need Kamala Harris to be the next president.
Arizona needs Carrie Lake.
You guys got it. Since this administration took action to strengthen border security earlier this year, now get this, illegal crossings are now at lower levels than when Donald Trump left office. Lower levels. And when Kamala Harris is president, we will work together to better secure our border, to stop the deadly flow of drugs into our communities, and immigration system. I'm supposed to end there, but I'm going to say one more thing, folks. Winning elections.
You guys, let me remind everybody, I'm going to overspeak this guy, that Harris is the current administration. If they really wanted to do something about it, they already would have. And so would this senator. He has sold his government seat.
Make more phone calls, work harder, and we will win this election. Thank you very much.
please welcome Attorney General Chris Mays.
Cochise County! Douglas! Wow, you know what I see when I look at you? I see victory in November!
Who is this? Who is this? Who does be?
You know, Senator Kelly and I just had the honor of
Is that
going
Hillary
with
Clinton?
Vice President Harris throughout the county in Douglas. And you know what else I saw? I saw hundreds, if not thousands, of folks.
She sounds like she's
standing
slurring,
on
you guys.
the roads to meet and greet with her, to just to see her. Thousands of folks in Cochise County, and again, I see.
And where
victory
Trump
in
goes, it's
November.
hundreds of thousands. Oh, I wish the cameraman would do a better job here. What's up?
So it's great to be with you again. I am Attorney General Chris Mays, and it is my job to protect Arizona's citizens. But I want to tell you something. By killing the bipartisan border deal, Donald Trump made it harder for me to do my job. A lot of people don't realize this, but when Donald Trump killed the strong border security deal that Vice President Harris helped negotiate with Republicans, he that would have been placed at the border. That's what he did.
They keep blaming Trump. They don't accept responsibility.
That's right.
Did you hear booing? I
I
think they're booing for them.
Would have funded the installation of those more cutting-edge inspection machines to detect fentanyl.
No.
Thankfully, though, the Biden-Harris administration provided funding for the installation of those scanners. And that's right. Let's clap for that.
Well, why did they wait so long to provide those scanners is the question. They've had the funding for it.
Those machines are now being deployed right now to prevent the flow of fentanyl into our state. That
Finally
is leadership.
Should have been done a long time ago.
Saving Arizonans' lives. And that is what we can expect from a Harris administration.
Okay. I don't know why the camera isn't on the stage. This is the only channel I've found this on. Let me look at, see if I can find it.
You know, and I think it's important to remember and to talk about it.
This woman sounds like she's nipping the bottle.
Fentanyl that has been seized in the United States in the last 2 years was seized in Arizona. It was seized in Arizona. Led by Donald Trump to
here we
put
go.
Those scanners in and to allow fentanyl into our state is shameful. It is shameful.
They will stick any, I mean, it is shameful that they are just now providing these machines when they've had the capability to do it since the beginning of the administration.
And made the border more secure, and it was supported by allies of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, like the Border Patrol Union. It was supported by those folks. And after Trump and Vance killed the toughest and fairest border security bill
that would allow 5,000 immigrants to come over the border daily.
Took action. Vice President Harris took action because she knew that we couldn't wait for help here in Arizona and in other border communities. That's why she and the White House implemented new actions to keep our southern border from being overwhelmed, allowing the Border Patrol to maintain a secure, orderly, and humane process on the border. I'll tell you something else. She also called together attorneys general from across the country to the White House, including me, to talk about how we could tackle the fentanyl crisis. She did that, her leadership.
Lies. She could have done it a long time ago. Why wait till now, an election year?
And Vice President Harris's leadership is working. As the senator mentioned, thanks
It's working
to
to
the Biden
tank the
Harris
country.
administration's actions, we have seen a sharp decline in border crossings. In July, we saw the lowest number of crossings in years. That's what leadership means.
Somebody fact check
The
that,
Vice
please.
President gets it because she
Carrie
has
Lakes, do you
worked
agree
on
with this
border issues
assessment?
for a long time. She has worked on these issues for a long time. I just watched her interact with Border Patrol and Customs. And, you know, she asked extremely incisive, very good questions because guess what? She gets it. She has been doing this work for years. She is a former border state prosecutor, and she was once in my shoes as a border state attorney general. In fact, as California's AG, she led a delegation of state AGs to Mexico to combat transnational criminal organizations. As former district attorney, attorney general,
District
and now Vice
attorney.
President,
This
Kamala
woman is
Harris
slurring
has
very
spent
badly.
her
Why are you
career
slurring so much, lady?
taking
I
on
slur a lot. I
and
know.
prosecuting violent criminals and making our communities safer. And she will do that as our next president.
Mm-hmm. How many of y'all believe that? Let me know in the comment section. What y'all
And
think?
I don't need to tell you, but the alternative
Please don't
could
tell us.
not be worse.
What?
Donald Trump and J.D. Vance do not care about fighting for a safe America. They said no to securing the border because they thought it would help them politically.
No, they said no
On
because
every
they
issue,
are not
from
completely
the
closing the border.
economy
They're still
to
going to
the
allow
border,
5,000
they
immigrants
made
in
clear
a day. That's
they are
not
in it
securing
for
the border.
themselves, not for you. And so,
Who do you work for, Attorney
I
General, whatever your
echo
name is?
Senator Kelly on this front. Thank you, number one, for all you have already done for our democracy.
Who's number
for
one?
everything that
I'm
you have
sorry, I
done
don't know
for
who
our
she's talking about.
democracy.
Mm.
And we know races in Arizona.
She
can be
sounds just
close.
like
Take it
Hillary.
from me. I am the poster child of close elections. I won by 280
Close
votes. I think the area
elections.
in the room.
Oh, I bet you are.
They don't call me landslide maze for nothing.
Ew, who would want to name
Well,
you
let
that
me say
landslide
this.
maze?
We've got a few weeks until ballots drop. A few more weeks after that, we've got an amazing opportunity to put Kamala Harris in the White House. Let's get after it. Let's do everything we can together to make that happen.
Y'all be sure and do that now. Comrade Kamala. Oh, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Y'all better vote for Carrie Lakes, y'all. Say what? Say huh? All right, when's this lady coming on? How many people we got to listen to before she finally comes up here? Come on, Kamala. How much more bad music do we have to listen to? I wonder if I'm going to get copyrighted. Oh, who's this guy? Who's this guy?
I won't wear you down. No, honey, I won't wear you down.
Is this our... Whoa. Is this our next speaker? What's going on here? I think everybody struggles with tech issues.
A destination, but I got a feeling either be your passenger. She could let me be your passenger.
All right, you guys. So I'm gonna take this off for a second while we wait. You guys, welcome to House Connell. My name is Regina Connell. Welcome to RC Squared, a podcast for the people. You guys, tonight's segment is Kamala gives her. Oh wait, that's not the right one. Sorry, you guys. It's on the thumbnail. Kamala finally visits the border. Let me get it up here. Here we go. This should be it. Sorry about that. So we're waiting, I guess, for her to show up. So yes, Kamala finally at the border. Will she have real-time solutions or more DTS? Or it should be TDS. Well, derangement Trump syndrome. Either way, it works, right, guys? So let me take this down. My name is Regina Connell. Thank you for joining me. So let's check on in and see what's happening here at this place. Everybody's looking very jovial and happy. And they didn't give a specific time of when she might be coming up. Oh, we have movement, guys. We have movement. The sound is horrible. It keeps going up and down. That's not me, guys. It's them. I'm going to use their rhetoric. It's not me. It's them. I'm the victim. All right, this would be a good time to play my intro. All right, guys, we are back and we are in waiting mode. I see someone coming up from the side of the stage. I don't know who they are. On a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. Well, I guess you'd say, what can make me feel this? Oh gosh, that's terrible. I don't know why they keep doing that with the sound. It's like killing my ears. Are they playing My Girl for Kamala? Are you serious right now? This couldn't be any worse. I just don't even know how to make this any worse. So she's revealed that, all of a sudden we have all this money now and we're going to put these machines in, and more Trump blaming is what I've heard so far from the senator, the attorney general of Arizona. So I don't know.
Please welcome Teresa Guerrero.
Teresa Guerrero. I don't know who she is. Do y'all know who she is? I have no idea. Is she going to introduce Kamala? I hope so. Their music choice is a little strange.
My name is Teresa Guerrero, and I'm a native Arizonan. I'm also a single mom. I'm a single mom who lost her son after first losing my husband.
Sorry for
my
your
son
losses.
Jacob died in 2020 at only 31 years old. He died from fentanyl. Drugs he was taking turned out to be laced.
Sorry.
Fentanyl to kill 3 healthy people. Jacob was an avid tennis watcher and a dedicated cyclist. It was devastating when he died. It still is. Losing a child isn't something you get over. But I've made sure every single day since to make sure his death meant something, which is why I'm here today. When I heard what Vice President Harris had to say at the Oprah Town Hall, I knew she was going to be a fighter for me, for Jacob and for families like ours who have lost our
Can you
loved
please
ones.
be specific about what she
Vice
said at the
President
town
Harris
hall that moved
understands
you?
what fentanyl has done to families and to kids in this country. That's why she backed the bipartisan border deal, the one Trump tanked.
Of course she would say that.
would have
I'm sorry
allowed
for
us
your
to
pain and
stem
your
the
loss,
flow
but
of
you are blaming the
fentanyl.
wrong person, my lady.
And it's why she's here in Douglas, a town that my husband grew up in and where we have so much family. Thank you to all the folks here today for supporting me. I trust Harris to get the job done because she's done it. As Attorney General, she took on these drug cartels that smuggled drugs across the U.S. border.
You guys, that's not her speech. I
She
feel bad
protected
for her.
people
I'm
when it
sorry, my
mattered
lady.
most. She's here today because she cares about us. She cares about our families, and she cares about securing the border. Now, it's my honor to introduce Vice President
Here we go.
Kamala
She's
Harris.
coming to the stage, y'all. All right, here we go. Here we go. It's go time. It's go time. Let's see what she has to say to us today. Oh, Kamala, come on now. That's not really much of an open embrace, is it? I didn't see a very big open embrace there, did y'all? Here we go. Let's... Hi, everyone. Hi. Good afternoon.
Can we please applaud Teresa and her extraordinary courage? Please, can we applaud extraordinary courage? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please have a seat, everyone. Thank you. It's good to be back in Arizona.
Mm.
It is good to be back in Arizona. Thank you all. Thank you so very much. Thank you. 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 I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I just wanted for a moment to speak about Teresa. We had some time together backstage, and I think that in moments of crisis, such as the fentanyl crisis, um, there are people who, through their suffering and their pain, rise with courage in such a selfless way to be a voice for others with the anticipation and the hope and the hard work of hoping that their story will be the reason other people don't have that story. And you sharing your story about Jacob and your advocacy on why we have to stop this scourge is so incredibly important. And again, I applaud Teresa, and I know we all do. And our need to stop this issue is one of the reasons that we are all here together today. I also want to thank the extraordinary elected officials who are here. Senator Mark Kelly came with me.
Did you like the way she said elected? I'm not elected, but they are.
And his extraordinary wife, Gabby Giffords, traveled with me from Washington, D.C. to be here. And Senator Kelly has been talking with me for quite some time about the importance of this visit. And so I thank you in front of all of our friends for your work. Thank you. Thank you. Attorney General Chris Mays, who just tore up the floor. She is, one of, I'm going to talk a bit about it in a minute, but
It's surprising that she's talking so much about the other people. She usually doesn't do this. She must be taking some cues from Trump's playbook.
As Attorney General really does emphasize the importance of having the right leader at the right time, in the right place, and that's who she is. Mayor Hewish, I thank you for the warm welcome. We've spent some time together. You've shared with me the needs of your community, and I thank you for your leadership as well. And to all the elected and community leaders here today, thank you for taking the time out of your busy lives to be here this afternoon. Before I begin, I do want to say a few words about Hurricane Helene. I spoke this morning with our FEMA Administrator, Chris Well, and President Biden and I, of course, will continue to monitor the situation closely. We have mobilized more than 1,500 federal personnel to support those communities that have been impacted. We have food, water, and generators that are ready for deployment. And
thank God.
we
We don't know if we want your help.
Power for millions of people who currently are experiencing outages. And I just want to stress, and for the press that is here, to those who are watching, the storm continues to be dangerous and deadly, and lives have been lost, and the risk of flooding still remains high. So I continue to urge everyone to please continue to follow guidance from your local officials until we get past this moment. So thank you all. And now I'll speak about, in particular, the people who are here today and why we are gathered here together.
She seems different, you guys.
So Arizona, I think you all know, and this is why you are here, there are consequential issues.
Oh, here we go with the consequential issues.
And
Check
one
out
is
the
the
earring.
security.
There's the
problem.
earrings, you guys, the magic
The
earrings.
United States is a sovereign nation, and I believe we have a duty to set rules at our border and to enforce them. And I take that responsibility very seriously. We are also a nation of immigrants.
The seriousness.
The United States has been enriched by generations of people who have come from every corner of the world
Legally
contribute to our
and
country
rightfully.
and to become part of the American story. And so we must reform our immigration system to ensure that it works in an orderly way, that it is humane, and that it makes our country stronger.
She sounds like Trump. Are you endorsing Trump, Kamala? Are you becoming a Trumper
So I've
thumper
just
girl?
come from visiting the border and the port of entry in Douglas. I spoke with dedicated agents from Border Patrol and Customs officers who every day see the overflow of commercial traffic through the port. These men and women who work there and at other places along our southern border help keep our nation secure. And they need more resources to do their jobs.
Her earrings are
Which is
glitching.
why we have and are in the process of investing $500 million to modernize and expand the port of entry here in Douglas.
$500 million, that's $500 million. What is it being spent on? I
And
want to know
why
now.
Last December, I helped raise the rate of overtime pay for border agents, and also why I strongly supported the comprehensive border security bill. Written last year, as you know, by
Sorry, you guys. She had to do that. She put the extra agents on the border, but they are still allowing the hemorrhaging of illegal entries. And they're saying that that's not counting the port of entries. That's just at the border. They're sending them to ports of entry through the air.
a bipartisan group of senators, including one of the most conservative members of the United States Congress. That bill would have hired 1,500 more border agents and officers. It would have paid for 100 inspection machines to detect fentanyl that is killing tens of thousands of Americans every year. It would have
Okay, we
allowed
don't
us
care
to
about
more
woulda,
quickly
coulda,
and
shoulda. What are you
effectively
doing now? They said that
remove
you were
those
doing
who come
something
here
now,
illegally,
but you're not.
and it would have increased the
Would
number
have.
of immigration judges and asylum officers. It was the strongest border
Why does
security
she
bill we
keep
have
talking
seen
about
in
what
decades.
shoulda, coulda, woulda,
It
coulda
was
been?
endorsed by the Border Patrol
No, we want to know what
Union,
you're doing now. What you're going to do now. What are
and
you
it
going to do
should
now?
be in effect today,
Should be.
producing results
Man,
in real
you're the
time
current
right now for our
administration.
country.
Ugh. Let me take myself off stage, you guys.
But Donald Trump tanked it. He picked up the phone and called some friends in Congress.
You guys, I mean, you've heard this tired, old, stupid line time and time again. Donald Trump does not have that power. He does not have that power. He's not in office. He doesn't hold any government office. And these people are wanting real time, right now solutions, not something that old big bad orange guy did or did not do. They want to know what you're going to do, what you are going to do right now, right this second. So you're making a liar out of that senator and attorney general that came on before you and said that you're actually doing something, because all I hear you doing right now is blaming Trump and everyone else for the problems that you have created. Let's keep going.
And said, stop the bill. Because you see, he prefers to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
And at least he's running. She prefers to beat a dead horse to death. What does it matter of what happened in the past? We want to know what you're going to do now. You are the incumbent, not Donald Trump. Stop blaming him for your inadequacies, please.
And the American people deserve a president who cares more about border security than playing political games and their personal political future.
But that's what you're doing right now, ma'am. That's what you're doing right now. You won't talk about you. You only want to talk about Trump. We want to hear what you're going to do. I'm
And
trying to
so
give you a fair
even though
shake.
Donald Trump tried to sabotage the border security bill, it is my pledge to you that as President of the United
Finally, a
States, I
pledge.
will bring it back up and proudly sign it into law.
Okay, in case you guys don't understand how lawmaking works, that's a bold claim that she's making. So, in essence, what she's saying is she's going to circumvent the Senate and Congress. Presidents only have the power to veto bills, not to write them, create them, and enact them into law. That's why we have the three-branch government system that we have set up. We have the executive branch, we have the legislative, and we have the sorry, give me just a second. Anyway, three branches of government. She, as president, cannot write a bill. It has to go through Congress, go through Senate. It has to be passed in both houses. Now, the president does have the power to veto a bill if they don't like it or whatever. They could say, this is not good. I'm going to veto it. Then they have to start back over. But she does not have the power, nor any president, to write a bill, create a bill, even a bill that's already existed. She has not the power to automatically say, okay, I'm going to write this in right now, because it has not been passed through both houses. She does have the power to close the border right now. She does have that power, and Biden has that power. And we know that she has that power because Biden just revealed on The View that she is imbued with the same powers as him and always has been. Let's continue on. It's going to be hard to get through, guys. So hard to get through. Oh my God. Lord help us all.
And let me say, the issue of border security is not a new issue to me. I was Attorney General of a border state for 2 terms.
So she was Attorney General for a border state, yet the border has a gashing wide hemorrhage. It's hemorrhaging, and she's still doing nothing but blaming Trump. That's all I hear. Do y'all hear anything else? I don't know.
And chaos that transnational criminal organizations cause, and the heartbreak and loss from the spread of their illicit drugs. I walked through tunnels that traffickers used to smuggle contraband.
Thank God. Well, now we
into
get
the
to hear
United
about what
States.
she
I've
does.
seen tunnels with walls as smooth as the walls of your living room, complete with lighting and air conditioning, making very clear
What's our
that
point?
it is about an enterprise that is making a whole lot of money in the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And my knowledge
Is that a
on how they
confession,
work
Kamala?
comes from the fact that I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations who traffic in guns.
What's that
drugs,
got to
and
do
human
with the
beings.
border being wide
My team
open?
and I broke
We don't
up
care
a
about what
heroin
you're not a
trafficking
prosecutor
ring
anymore.
in the Bay Area with ties to Mexican cartels. We took down a gang working with the Sinaloa cartel to traffic methamphetamine into the United States. We seized millions of dollars worth of cocaine from
That's
the
been a
Guadalajara
decade ago or more.
and broke up a drug trafficking operation,
drunk trafficking.
including pill mills and so-called recovery centers that were pushing opioids with deadly results.
Blah, 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 blah.
As Attorney General of California, it was 10 years ago that I brought a bipartisan group of American attorneys general and led that group to travel to Mexico City to meet with Mexican attorneys general to address this issue, and in particular, to increase intelligence sharing on gang activity. All of which allowed us to prosecute more human traffickers.
So why is the problem worse now?
And I started, as Attorney General, the first comprehensive report in the state of California analyzing transnational criminal organizations and the threats they pose to public safety and to the economy. So stopping transnational criminal organizations and strengthening our border is not new to me, and it is a long-standing priority of mine. I have done that work, and I will continue to treat it as a priority when I am elected President of the United States.
You will not be elected president. Not if we have anything to do with it. Does that make y'all feel better about the border? I hear no plan.
And it is my pledge to you,
Maybe she'll get to it.
understanding how solutions get formed, that I will reach across the aisle and I will embrace common sense approaches and new technologies to get the job done.
Why aren't you doing it now?
Because I know transnational gangs coming across the border, trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings could care less who somebody voted for in the last election. They could care less. They've got one goal in mind. And it is therefore critically important that anybody who calls themselves a leader would work with other leaders for common sense solutions.
So you're going to work with the leaders of those gangs?
The pain and the suffering that Americans are experiencing if we don't work together to fix these problems. And look, transnational gangs, one of the things I know about them, they are always innovating. So to disrupt them, we must do the same. And that means, again, working together in real time, grounded on finding
As opposed to fake time? I don't know.
approaches, not just about some rhetoric at a rally.
Yours is rhetoric.
Actually doing the work of fixing a problem.
Well, what are you doing? We want to know what you're doing. You're just telling us what could have been, what would have been, what should have been, what you've done. What are you doing now?
As president, I won't only bring back the border security bill that Donald Trump tanked. I will do more to secure our border.
That's called a
To
dictatorship.
reduce illegal border crossings, I will take further action to keep the border closed between ports of entry.
Why isn't she doing it now?
Those who cross our borders unlawfully will be apprehended and removed and barred from re-entering for 5 years. We will pursue more
That's
severe
already in place,
criminal
guys.
charges against repeat
She's just saying she'll
violators.
enforce it,
And if
but she's
someone
not
does
doing it
not
now.
make
So
an
why would
asylum
she do it?
request at a legal point of entry and instead crosses our border unlawfully, they will be barred from receiving asylum. While we understand that many people are desperate to migrate to the United States, our system must be orderly and secure.
She's
And
changed
that
her
is my
tune.
goal.
She's greatly changed her tune. Maybe Trump's had some effect on her after all. A little common sense, maybe.
Securing our border also means addressing the flow of fentanyl into our communities. Fentanyl is a scourge on our country.
Okay, let me just say securing the border means just that, securing the border and nothing else. The fentanyl trafficking will take care of itself once the border is secure. I don't know why she's trying to make it two separate issues. Let's continue on to this word, jelly.
The nature of it as a drug is such that it is highly addictive and it is highly lethal.
We're getting a lesson.
So much so that using it one time only can be fatal.
No crap.
I have met far too many families, parents, loved ones who have lost a family member, a child, to fentanyl. And their grief is heartbreaking. And the devastation caused by fentanyl.
She's going to try to talk for an hour and a half. She won't make it.
To big cities. It's impacting communities across our country, regardless of where they are geographically, politically, or any other demographic you choose to talk about. It's a scourge in our country, and we have to take it seriously. And as president, I will make it a top priority to disrupt the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. And I know everyone here understands that most of the fentanyl in America comes from two cartels based in Mexico. Most often, they are smuggling it through vehicles at legal ports of entry.
Why
the
are
one
we
I
getting a
visited
lesson
today.
on how drugs come through the
The
border?
fact
I
is,
don't
border
understand.
officers don't have enough resources and are only able to search a fraction.
No, it's because there's a gaping wide hole in the border that she will not seal, that she could do right this very second, but she would like you to believe that she does not have that power, but we know that she does.
Of the vehicles that pass through their checkpoint.
She would rather tell you that she'll be a dictator herself by a bill that's been killed, hasn't even made it out of the House nor Congress or any of that. And she's saying she's going to magically make it appear across her desk and that it will be signed. She will sign it into law. Well, if things work that way, I'm sure it would have already been done, but it doesn't work that way. She only has the power to veto that bill, which is what Donald Trump did. I think if he was even in office, they blame him for a lot of stuff.
Points. This is unacceptable.
You're
They
unacceptable.
need the resources to do their jobs. And as we could have done with that border security bill, I will surge support to law enforcement agencies on the front lines, more personnel, more training, and more technology, including
Close the border. That's all you
100
need to
new
do.
inspection systems
Just close
that
the
can
border.
detect fentanyl hidden in vehicles.
Why is she so
And we
focused
will
on
make
fentanyl
sure
right now?
that our ports of entry, including airports and seaports, have additional state-of-the-art technology to detect fentanyl and the chemical tools used to make it.
Good Lord.
I will also double the resources for the Department of Justice.
Oh, that's,
expedite
oh
and
my
prosecute
gosh. Did you hear
trans-
that? Did you hear that? That's scary. She said she's going to double the resources for the Department of Justice. Who are you going to have them go after now? I wonder. She's going to double the resources of the Department of Justice. Did you guys hear that? She's going to double the resources of the Department of Justice.
transnational criminal organization, demographic you choose to talk about. It's a scourge in our country, and we have to take it seriously. And as president, I will make it a top priority to disrupt the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. And I know everyone here understands that most of the fentanyl in America comes from two cartels based in Mexico. Most often, they are smuggling it through vehicles at legal ports of entry, like the one I visited today.
Huh. Did you help them?
The fact is, border officers don't have enough resources and are only able to search a fraction of the vehicles that pass through their checkpoints. This is unacceptable.
You're
They
unacceptable.
need the resources to do their jobs. And as we could have done with that border security bill,
Could have, should have, would have.
I will surge support to law enforcement agencies on the front lines, more personnel,
Listen up.
more training,
Listen.
and more technology, including 100 new inspection systems that can detect fentanyl hidden in vehicles. And we will make sure that our ports of entry, including airports and seaports, have additional state-of-the-art technology to detect fentanyl and the chemical tools used to make it. I will also double the resources for the Department of Justice to extradite and prosecute state-of-the-art technology to detect fentanyl and the chemical tools used to make it. I will also double the resources for the Department of Justice to extradite and prosecute transnational criminal organizations and the cartels.
That makes no sense.
Yes.
You can't extradite them, man. Okay.
I will ensure that we target the entire global fentanyl supply chain because we must materially and sustainably disrupt the flow of illicit fentanyl coming into our country.
You guys, let me just ask you a question here. She seems to be pretty confident that she can control a lot of things. So she's going to control price gouging. She's going to control all retailers, wholesalers. She's going to control every vendor, every business. She's going to control their prices to what she deems as price gouging. I don't know how you could ever control that, especially when it comes to grocery store. Any person, there's manufacturing costs to take into consideration. There's all sorts of variables to take into consideration. So now she's saying, in addition to that, this makes no sense. None.
My approach takes into account also that the precursor chemicals used to make fentanyl are by and large made in China and then shipped to Mexican cartels.
This sounds like
trafficked
Trump.
right here into the United States. Our administration demanded that China crack down on the companies that make those chemicals.
Trump
And it has started
demanded that.
but they need to do more. And as president, I will hold them to their commitment to significantly reduce the flow of precursor chemicals coming from China.
Why aren't you doing that now? Why aren't you doing that now? You guys, please, she could be doing this now.
And all of this to say, we must tackle this issue from every angle, because our highest charge must be to protect the lives of our people. It must be to understand the pain and to have the courage to know that solutions are at hand if we focus on fixing a problem instead of running on a problem.
Running on a problem. Listen to this. He makes no sense. Oh, God. Just so hard to get through.
On this issue, writ large, we must ensure that our country
Spirit
remains
hand.
strong and competitive.
There's a content
which
creator that says
includes
that.
fixing our broken immigration system. And let me be clear.
Be clear.
I reject the false choice. I reject the false choice that suggests we must either choose between securing our border or creating a system of immigration that is safe, orderly, and humane.
What is she saying?
We can and we must do both.
You have to close the border. You have to close. She just said it. She's not going to close the border. She just said it. She will not close the border.
And then shipped to Mexican cartels and trafficked right here into the United States. Our administration demanded that China crack down on the companies that make those chemicals. And it has started to happen. But they need to do more. And as president, I will hold them to their commitment
She
to
could do that now.
significantly reduce the flow.
She has the same powers as President Biden said so.
Coming from China.
This is a disgrace. Now listen to what she says about the border. She's not going to close it. She's saying it right now.
To say, we must tackle this issue from every angle.
Listen up.
Because our highest charge must be to protect the lives of our people. It must be to understand the pain and to have the courage to know that solutions are at hand.
Here it comes.
If we focus on fixing a problem instead of running on a problem.
Okay, here it comes. Right now, wait for it. She refuses to make the choice. She's going to tell it right now. She's not going to close the border. She refuses to do that.
And on this issue, writ large, we must ensure that our country remains strong and competitive, which includes fixing our broken immigration system. And let me be clear. I reject the false choice. I reject the false choice that suggests we must either choose between securing our border or creating a system of immigration that is safe, orderly, and humane. We can and we must do both.
First, we have to close the border. It's out of hand. You can't control it at this point. Well, she knows that.
And we need clear legal pathways for people seeking to come into our country. And we must make our current system work better. For example, it can take years for asylum claims to be decided. Well, this is a problem we can solve.
But they're doing it
including
really
by
quickly for
hiring more
election
asylum
time.
officers and
Look, guys, they are telling on themselves. So yes, they are making sure. I heard a rumor. It's unconfirmed. I haven't gotten any confirmation on it, but that they are speeding up the process for citizenship applications. And she's telling us right now what she's doing. Yes, we're going to speed up the process. She's already done it. Look, she's went rogue.
expanding processing centers in people's home countries. And as
What?
president, I will work with Congress to create, at long last, a pathway to citizenship.
Who's going to pay for
hardworking
that? Are you going to
immigrants
make
who have
them
been
pay
here
for it?
years.
Oh my God, y'all.
Years. And deserve to have a system that works.
Did you hear that? She's going to work with other countries to create centers, but who's going to pay for these centers?
To come into our country. And we must make our current system work better. For example, it can take years for asylum claims to be decided. Well, this is a problem we can solve, including by hiring more asylum officers and expanding processing centers
Steve?
in people's home countries.
What?
And as president, I will work with Congress to create, at long last, a pathway to citizenship for hardworking immigrants who have been here for years. For years.
So my next question would be, if they've been here for years, why do we have to create centers, satellite centers? We already have those. They're called embassies, right? They are called embassies. We have United States embassies, and then there are countries that have embassies in our country. This is ridiculous. She's talking about an embassy. It's basically an embassy, and they are already in place.
And deserve to have a system that works. I also have in mind our dreamers.
Oh, our dreamers.
I have met with so many of our dreamers throughout my career. They who have grown up in the United States, were educated here, pay taxes here, serve in our military, and contribute to our communities every day. They are American in every way. But still, they do not have an earned pathway to citizenship. And this problem has gone unsolved at this point now for decades.
So that's not true. There is an earned pathway to citizenship. There are already those processing centers that you call, I don't know, she's trying to make it sound like immigration, like an assembly line, right? This is lunacy in my mind.
The same goes for farm workers who ensure that we have food on our tables and who sustain our agricultural industry. And they too have been in legal limbo for years.
Because of you.
Because politicians have refused.
Oh.
I also have in
Oh,
mind
good.
our
Thank God it's almost
dreamers.
done.
I have met with so many of our dreamers throughout my career. They who have grown up in the United States, were educated here, pay taxes here, serve in our military, and contribute to our communities every day. They are American in every way.
Who are you speaking of?
But still, they do not have an earned pathway to citizenship. And this problem has gone unsolved at this point now for decades.
That's a
The
lie.
same goes for farm workers who ensure that we have food on our tables and who sustain our agricultural industry. And they too have been in legal limbo for years because politicians
you.
have refused to come together to fix our broken immigration system.
And you guys, I'll remind you that the Democrats have been in ultimate power for 12 of the past 16 years.
Well, as president, I will put politics aside to fix our immigration system and find solutions to problems which have persisted.
So my only question is, I understand the immigration, but her concern seems to be more of filling our country up with people from other countries and not sustaining what we already have, not taking care of what we already have. We can't bring any more people in that we cannot take care of, and they cannot take care of themselves when they first get here. This is lunacy. This is absolute lunacy. I can't wait to hear what other content creators and news media outlets will say about this.
For far too long. For far too long, we have all known this is not working as it can and as it should.
That's why we were voting you out.
So as I said at the beginning, these issues are highly consequential for our nation. And the contrast in this election is clear. It is a choice between common sense solutions
Absolutely.
and the same old political games.
Your games.
In the 4 years that Donald Trump was president,
Here we go
he did
again.
nothing to fix our broken immigration system. He did not solve the shortage of immigration judges. He did not solve the shortage of border agents. He did not create lawful pathways into our nation. He did nothing to address an outdated asylum system. And
She
did not
doesn't
work
even
with other
understand our
governments
system.
in our hemisphere to deal with what clearly is also a regional challenge. As overdoses went up during his presidency, he fought to slash funding for the fight against fentanyl.
That's a lie.
And what did he do instead? Well, let's talk about that.
Do we have to?
He separated families.
Lies.
He ripped toddlers out of their mother's arms.
What? Why would she
Children in
say
cages
something
and
like
tried to
that?
end
Did you hear
protections
this
for dreamers.
lunacy? This woman's a lunatic. She's a
He
fucking
did not
lunatic.
solve the shortage of immigration judges. He did not solve the shortage of border agents. He did not create lawful pathways
Listen to what she says.
into our nation. He did nothing to address an outdated asylum system and did not work with other governments in our hemisphere to deal with what clearly is also a regional challenge. As overdoses went up during his presidency,
So she blames
he
him.
fought
That's
to
a lie.
slash funding
Listen to
for
what
the
she
fight
says.
against fentanyl. And what did he do instead? Well, let's talk about that. He separated families.
Listen to what she
He
says.
ripped
This
toddlers out of their mother's arms.
that's an outrageous
Put
claim.
children in cages and tried to end protections for dreamers.
That's what Fauci
He
did.
made the challenges at the border worse.
No, you
And
did.
he is still fanning the flames
You are.
of fear and division.
You are.
And let me be clear.
No one's scared of you,
That is
baby.
not the work of a leader. That is not the work of a leader. And that is, in fact, I think we all believe, an abdication of leadership.
A new word for her, abdication.
On the ugly battles that have characterized our politics. And it is time to move forward together to achieve real solutions
Are we going to turn the
that
page?
make our country stronger. And I know we can get this done. I know we have the will. I know
Not
we
for
have
you.
the courage. I know the solutions are at hand, and I know we are ready. And so with all of that, I say thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Jesus. That's over. Thank you, Lord Jesus. That's over with. You guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What did you think? And I'm sorry that I kept adding my commentary. I just couldn't help it. I mean, she flat out lied. She accused Donald Trump of ripping toddlers out of mothers' arms. She accused Donald Trump of ripping toddlers out of mothers' arms. I want to see the facts where she substantiates those bold claims that she just made. Shame on you. Shame on you, Kamala Harris. Shame on you. You guys, I'm ending this live. Thank you for joining me for more of Comrade Kamala. And, my only hope is that Donald Trump, don't even speak her name anymore. Don't even give her any attention because, she's killing herself and she's basically endorsing his policies as her own. And she's blaming him for things. She's making bold claims. So you guys tell me what you think in the comments. Like, oh, I have a comment. I didn't see that. Oh, that's my comment. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. My name is Regina Connell. This has been RC Squared, a podcast for the people. This segment has been Kamala finally at the border. We covered this live. You guys, thank you for joining me. And we will see you on Monday morning for RTNT 93. We will be in day 81. And we will see you next time, guys. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Be blessed, y'all.